Welcome to this long and detailed video tutorial where I'm going to show you everything you really need to know about local SEO. This is going to be covering two main subjects. One, local SEO pages. We're going to show you the structure of how they would look like on a website, including the blueprint, and then how to create them quickly using ChatGPT within Google Sheets. A nice little trick that we generated throughout the years. And then the second part's going to be about Google My Business, which is arguably probably one of the most important things when it comes to local SEO, but many people don't know how to optimize it very well. With this, you will have the opportunity, if done correctly and you stick at it, for your business to rank number one for local keywords. For example, plumbing services in Brunswick, your business will be number one there. Even just recently, one of our community members using this exact framework, after 2 years of doing it kind of incorrectly with this simple method that we're going to go through step-by-step guide, it just took him a couple of weeks of being in there. His business was ranking number one. Not only that, he was getting leads from Google My Business already after a couple of weeks of doing this method. If you don't know me, my name is Nico. I run an online community called the AI Ranking School Community, where we simplify SEO and we help you maximize it with AI tools and automations. So if you want to learn how to use these tools to get your business ranking number one on Google, I'll leave a link to this below so you can check it out. There's two links, one to our free community. If you just want to get your toes wet and you don't want to quite commit to something, you can try out with the free community. And then if you want a lot more support and premium content and automations, you can join the premium community. But we'll get started right away. Now, before we begin, you should understand that this is really relevant to you if you have a service-based business and you can provide those services throughout many locations in one city or maybe in even different states. If you can't go anywhere else and you can only provide that service in the one suburb, then this might be not for you, although the first couple of strategies will still apply. So remember that you need a service-based business where you can provide your services in many different locations. With that said, we have the sitemap here. We have in the first step the home page, which obviously you should have. Then the second level of that is the menu, what that might look like. The header menu, for example, you might have the services pages, which is really important. You might have the about us page, a blog page, which you really need, contact us section, and most importantly, the locations-based services here. So what we're going to do is use an example for this instance that we're going to build together, and we're going to build a bit of an SEO strategy for a plumber-based business in Melbourne. So this is a map of Melbourne, and we're going to say, for the sake of this example, that the plumber really predominantly concentrates in the northern inner suburbs of Melbourne. So you can see here we've got Brunswick, Brunswick East, Carlton, Fitzroy, Thornbury. This is just an example. So we need to understand where we want to concentrate on and how wide we want our local SEO to be. So for this instance, our plumbers, let's call it Paul's Plumbing, will just be focused in the inner northern suburbs of Melbourne. So with that, the first thing to do is get an understanding of, well, what are all the suburbs that we do want to concentrate on, and put them in a Google Sheet. And this will be the pillar of a lot of things moving forward. So I recommend you make something like this. Just place in all the suburbs that you want to concentrate. Here we've got 20, which will end up being 20 localized SEO pages. So we've got our structure now. So let's say Paul's Plumbing does three main categories of plumbing: emergency plumbing services, hot water installation, and pipe leak repair. That's going to be important to understand the rest of the flow. We have all of the locations that we mentioned before. So Carlton Plumbing Services, Carlton North, Fitzroy, Brunswick East Plumbing Services, you get the idea. So what does one of these pages look like, or what could it look like? Well, if I go to Carlton Plumbing Services, I've done here of what this might look like. For example, just so you get a bit of an idea. So I've got the main page here, or the title, the H1, that should say Carlton Plumbing Services. And then I might have other areas here that say emergency plumbing services, hot water installation, pipe leak repair. You get the idea. All the services that you still provide within Carlton. So then if we take that a step further, understanding the structure of this, if I click on the Carlton Plumbing Services page, I should be shown this, right? That's my main Carlton Plumbing Services page. main services I provide, I just want to have the local keywords here. But then what happens if I click on the emergency plumbing section? Well, I go a step further. This is level 4 now of the website in terms of depth. And I've got here Carlton Emergency Plumbing Services. And what that page might look like is very, very simple. All I really need to differentiate is that the H1 should be Carlton Emergency Plumbing Services. So the location is here, the location keyword. I might have some H2s here, 24/7 emergency plumbing in Carlton. Essentially might mean the same thing, but we're capturing a different keyword. And then, for instance, we also might have H2 why choose our Carlton Emergency Plumbers, maybe a little review section and the other things. The main point here that I'm trying to make is you really just need this service-based page, location page, which you'll then replicate. So instead of saying Carlton Emergency Plumbing Services, it'll be pretty much the exact same design, but it'll say Brunswick or Brunswick East Emergency Plumbing Services. And ideally, these are all linking to each other. So I've got a section here, view our other services. If I click on that, I'll be linking to the other services here. So hot water installation, Carlton pipe leak repair services, and I can just duplicate this exact page structure or page template and just change a few of the headings and keywords around for that. So how would I do that? How would I do that en masse? Create these 20 pages. That's a lot of content. That's a lot of different H1s, H2s, and all that. And this really depends on your type of CMS, whether it's WordPress, Webflow, Wix, whatever that might be. Well, I first need to understand the structure of this, and this is a very basic Google Sheet, which you will need to make the same, but you really need to amend it your own and understand what you'll need. So for example, I know that for all the suburbs, I need a main services pages for that location where I can list the rest of the sub services. So Carlton North, for example, main services. I'm going to integrate ChatGPT into my Google Sheet because I'm going to show you how quickly then this can make your life. In the resources below, there will be a link that says GPT-4o Mini in Google Sheets. When you click that, it'll take you to this page, and this is completely free, by the way. This is part of the free community. I want you to click on the script code, and you're actually going to download this. And don't worry if things are getting a bit tricky here. It doesn't really matter. I want you to download this code, and you're going to open that text file, and you'll see this bunch of code here. You don't really need to know what it means. We're just going to copy that, and we're going to open it into a Google Sheet. Your Google Sheet can look slightly different. Doesn't really matter. It's just about having these main suburbs there that you want to rank for. We're going to click on Data Extension and go to App Script. Now for this, because we're integrating GPT-4o Mini into Google Sheets, you will need an API key. If you've never gotten an API key before, I'll leave a link below to a quick video where I show you where to get your API key. You will need some payment in that, but it's extremely minimal. We're talking throughout this whole thing that we're going to do now, we might spend 20 cents. I'm going to paste that code in here. And there's one thing that you need to change from this code where it says your API key. You guessed it, that's where you need to place your API key. I've got mine saved up here. And then once you've got your API key there, all you got to do is click the Save Project to Drive. Fantastic. So now I can go back to my Google Sheet. You're going to refresh it. And you'll notice now that if I type on equals GPT, this function comes up. And that's the function of me calling GPT-4o Mini. Why 4o Mini? Because the task that we're doing isn't necessarily too difficult, and 4o Mini is a lot cheaper and more than smart enough to do what we're asking it to do. So I've got equals GPT, I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to place the prompts within the double quotation marks. And I've got the prompt ready here, and I'm going to go here. Let's read the prompt a little bit. It says, take the following location, and I'll show you how we're going to point to that in a second, and add the words plumbing services. Only respond with the joint location and the added services, nothing else. And yes, somebody's going to say, well, you can just do that with a function within Google Sheets. Yes, I know you can, but I want to show you how you can integrate GPT into Sheets, because later down the line, this is going to be extremely helpful, and it's going to help us write sections of the web page that you can't do with a simple equation on Google Sheets. So I've got the whole prompt here. I'm going to close the prompt with the double quotation marks, hit comma, and then I'm going to go on my first cell. So Carlton North, I'm going to close that whole function with a closing bracket and hit enter. And if I've done everything correctly, and if I have some API credits within my account, you see that it generated what I wanted, which was Carlton North Plumbing Services, because it just joined the Carlton North with the plumbing services there. Now I can click and drag this all the way down, and here's where the magic starts happening, right? Perfect. So I've got all of those sections there and now. So now I can quickly do the same, but let's say I want to create, so now I've got the title tag, or the title for that main services page for that location. Now let's say, well, I need to create the emergency plumbing services for Carlton North. I can do the same now. And this is only an example because, and your business might not be plumbing. That's why I want to show you how to integrate GPT-4o in here, because you can amend this and change this into whatever you want. I'm going to paste the prompt here, but I'm going to change this to plumbing services, emergency plumbing services. And A2, that's fine. I'm going to hit enter, and it should say Carlton North Emergency Plumbing Services. Beautiful. I can now drag this down. So again, nice and easy, but now I've already have all the titles for what the pages are going to be. And that took me, a couple of seconds. I've got the main page location, and then within that, I've got the sub service location for that service, or that location, sorry. Now we're going to get into something a little bit more tricky, and why we really need GPT inside Sheets. Let's say we have the section here that says Carlton North Emergency Plumbing Services, or whichever location, and we want to add in this sentence here, we want to add naturally the same location keyword so that it reads more naturally. Google will understand that we do the services there as well, and the reader who's actually reading it yet again naturally sees that, okay, these guys in fact do really work within Carlton. It's really important that you do that in a natural manner without keyword stuffing, but we want it to read correctly there. So I want to make sure that I've got that text. So what we're going to do is add the location somewhere in here a little bit more natural. So how do we do that within Google Sheets? Well, we need to make sure that we prompt it appropriately. So here for example, in the emergency plumbing services, let's say we have a section on we respond quickly. So with my sentence copied, I'm going to say equals GPT. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to add the whole prompt, and I'll show you what the prompt looks like now. It says, take the following sentence and integrate a location that I will provide. The location name should be integrated naturally. Try to not change the original sentence too much. Only provide the new sentence and nothing else. You kind of need to be very direct with GPT-4o. I give it a sentence. Our expert plumbers are on call 24/7, yada, yada. I finish the sentence with a single quotation marks, and then I do a full stop and I say location. And now I'm going to give it that location. We're going to close the double quotation marks. That's closing the prompt itself. Hit comma and select the cell containing the location name. You're going to close the entire formula and hit enter. It was a bit complicated, but read the prompt and it'll make sense. So now it says, our expert plumbers in Carlton North are on call 24 hours a day, 367 years, yada, yada. Now you can see that it rewrote that whole thing, placing that keyword naturally in there. Now I can do the magic and drag all the way down this whole formula. And if it's done correctly, you'll see that it has integrated everything correctly, and it changed a little bit. That's fine, as long as it sticks within the same parameters of the service that you provide. A little variation is actually a good thing. So here you see that the suburb is Fitzroy North, and here it says our expert plumbers in Fitzroy North are on call 24 hours a day. Fantastic. Let's just check one more. Tullamarine, our plumbers in Tullamarine are on call 24 hours 7. So perfect. Now I've built a couple of things with ChatGPT. I've built the name of the main services pages for that location. the name for the sub services within that location. So Carlton North Emergency Plumbing Services is a sub one of that. And then a section that I can place into that page as well. So for example, that would go in this section here of the emergency Carlton section here. So I've done these two already, H1, H2s, and then I can place that into here as well. And I can duplicate that page. I've got all the content generated by ChatGPT now, and I can just duplicate this. Now there is a little bit of work in essentially duplicating those pages. The content is done though. So it really depends on your CMS and the functionalities of it. A lot of the times you're able to upload a whole CSV file with this made, but it changes dramatically between the website builder. So I'll leave it at that. Well done for getting through this far. But with that understanding of the sitemap and how that looks like, and don't worry, I'll leave a link to this sitemap that is will be public and completely free, so you can get an understanding of what I mean and what it should look like. You might need some more time to study this thing, but the fundamentals should be the same. Now, the second thing should be a Google My Business profile, and we're going to create Paul's Google My Business profile, and I'm going to show you the things that you really should be worried about. Everything really, but the thing that people miss and what we don't want to miss. So I'll leave a link for you below. If you don't have a Google My Business profile, that's fine. You can create one below. And if you do, well, you still want to go through it with me and make sure that it's optimized here. So the company name, I'm going to say Paul's Plumbing. The company category is going to be plumbing. The category is going to be plumbing. I'm located in a Spanish-speaking country at the moment, but that is plomero in Spanish, so it's all right. We're going to do that. Do you want to add a location so that users can visit, such an office store? I'm going to say no, because the plumber will go everywhere. But if you do have that, then by all means, place that in there. Where do you offer your services? This is really important. We're going to place the main city where you offer your services, but then remember that you've got all the suburbs here, and those are really important to place in there as well. If you don't add them all right away, don't worry. Again, you can add them in later, but I'm going to add one more. So Carlton North, and you can add as many as you want. Pretty much, I'm sure there's a limit, but you get the idea. So I've got a couple here: Melbourne, Carlton North, Victoria, Fitzroy North. I'll just leave that there for now. You need to place your number there, the website. You can verify, but we're going to do that later now because we're not actually going to verify this page. And this is very important as well. We're going to add all of the things that we offer. So pipeline detection, maybe water heat installation, shower installation, installation of taps, show more circles. Well, you need to make sure that you've done every one of these ones that pertain to the businesses that you offer. For example, we're going to go drain cleaning, water heater, sewer repair, shower repair, water tank, pipeline, pool plumbers, exterior repair. You can add custom, and I suggest that you add as many as you can that are relevant to you. For now, we'll leave it there. I'm going to go following. Again, your opening hours, it's really up to you and to when you offer your hours. Monday, we're going to open up. Oh, we're going to say 24 hours. After all, we did say that we've got emergency plumbers, so I should probably put that in there. You can always get ChatGPT to help you out with this. So a very quick hack here. You can always get ChatGPT to help you out here. Just keep in mind, we have 750 characters that we need to fill this in. I'm a little bit lazy, so I'm going to get ChatGPT to fill this out for me. Create a description for me for my company that I can add in my Google My Business profile. It needs to be less than 750 characters in length. The name of the business is Paul's Plumbing. We provide all type of plumbing services within Melbourne in Australia. Make sure that you use the relevant keywords, including anything related to emergency plumbing services and leak detection services that I can provide in the business information. Again, remember to keep it less than 150 characters in length. This is the desktop or the Mac app version of ChatGPT. That's why I can talk to it, but I like doing that a lot. A lot of people don't. There you go. I'm going to hit following. I'm going to add a photo here. Believe I have made some photos of a plumber recently for this video. Perfect. There we go. Perfect. And now the name of the business did change for this instance, but you're going to need to get yours verified as well. And to verify it, they either need to send you something, a little envelope with a piece of code, or they need to call you. For this instance, I'm not going to verify it because it's not a real business, but we're going to move to a Google My Business profile that is verified and is real, so we can look at a few things that you need to make sure you have. So I've got one here that is a little bit different. They just do catering services within the Brisbane and Gold Coast area. I know we're changing cities, sorry, but I got to work with what I've got. A couple of things here that are really important. You can edit your profile and it'll change a little bit in terms of the services that you are providing. But this is one thing that's very important. If I go to location services here, all this business has is service area Brisbane and Gold Coast. And that's fine. Technically, they do work there, but they also work in the areas within that. And you want to optimize that a little bit more. So within the search area, I want to place in, for example, Burleigh Heads. That is a location within the Gold Coast. I want to put that in there. I want to put, for example, Southport in Queensland, Australia. That is another suburb of Gold Coast, and I want to put all these suburbs within the town itself, within the city itself, and save it there. You need to make sure that you upload photos yourself of the services that you provide. For example, these guys have done that with beautiful food that they offer. Fantastic. And you need to do a couple of things as well. The product that you offer here is really important. You can put the product name, select the category. You can even create a new category. You don't have to put the price in there in the product description, but make sure you do that. Whether it's leak detection, emergency services, place the product or the service that you provide in there, and you want to publish this thing as well. If you click the down arrow here, a lot of people miss that. There's two things that are very, very important. You can make a booking, by the way. You can add a link directly to your booking page or directly to a Calendly page or whatever that is. I recommend you do that as well. But what I really want you to do as well is press the Ask for Reviews button. And this link here will take you directly to leaving a review on your business. And it's really important that you make it very easy for people to find you. So this is another tab with another Google account. I'm pasting that link and I'm hitting enter here. You can see that when I've gone to that link, it's taking me directly to leave a review for them. I want to make it as simple as possible for people to leave a review, not tell them, hey, can you look us up on Google and leave us a review? Too many steps, you're not going to get any reviews. Another thing that you can do is create a QR code with that review in it. Really simple. You just go to any QR code generator for free. There's a bunch of free ones. There's QR Code Monkey. I believe that's completely free. You put the URL of the Google My Business reviews there. You say create code, and it's going to give you that as a PNG, which you can place anywhere you want. So if you have a business card, a pamphlet, or in the menu when you're providing your services, you can give people the QR code, they can scan it, and it's going to take them directly to that Google My Business page. I've got that QR code here, for example. I'm going to test this out very quickly. You can see that I've got kind of nothing on my phone at the moment. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but we'll see. So I'm scanning here. I clicked on it. It should load here, and it's going to take me directly to that page to leave a review. And there you go. You can see it there a little bit. The key here is to make it as simple as possible. So that's one, keep that link with you, provide it to your customers when you have that there. And the last thing that you really should do, apart from obviously keep updating all the information within my Google My Business page, they make it really simple to do. So just follow everything, take the time and fill everything out. There's one thing that I want you to do though, is add an update. You should try and do this at least once a month. And the update here can be a simple thing of, hey, here's a service that we provided for a customer. Here's what happened. Here's how happy they were. If you want to book us, by the way, you can add a button here. You can add a video or a photo. So the idea here also can be to grab an old blog post that you've done, repurpose it, Make sure that it's less than 1,500 characters in length. You can ask ChatGPT to do that for you. Take this blog post, make it short, make it 150,000 characters in length, place that in there. Make sure you add the call to action button, book now, call us now, whatever that might be, and add a photo in there. You want to do that at least once a month, especially for times like now where you might have a sale on. If you're running Black Friday sales, you want to add an offer. You want to keep that updated and tell them where that ends as well. Why is this an important aspect? Well, Google loves frequent content. If you keep your Google My Business updated, ideally with reviews and with posts, you're going to give yourself the best advantage at ranking number one when it comes to localized business. Finally, some of you might be wondering, well, this is all great and good, but what if my business requires me to place in more up-to-date information in those localized pages? Let's say, for example, you're a real estate business, real estate agency business, and you want to put a little bit more up-to-date information about that specialized local section. Let's say how many people live there, where to go to eat, or things like that. Well, this is a solution, and mind you, this is part of our premium community, but you might be able to build this by me just explaining it. We use Make, an automation software, and this Google Sheet is very much like the same Google Sheet I had before with all the locations in there. And what this does, it does research on that location, and then that research about that location gets handed to several different ChatGPTs to, for example, here, it creates a history section of that. The next one creates a what to do in that town. The next one creates the property types within that city, and then the FAQ section about that city. And all these 4 different content components get placed neatly and tidily into a Google Doc, ready for you to upload. So you've created a localized, researched SEO page that you can upload into your website. That is part of our premium community. We also give you the JSON file and the Google template to do that, but not everyone might need that solution. The one that I showed you before with the simple Google Sheet might be more than enough. With the simple Google Sheet and GPT-4o in there, might be more than enough for most people. So I hope that makes sense. That was a long tutorial, but it's really, really worth it. If you do all those things, you will improve your local SEO. Particularly if you do this for 3 months, you will see that return on investment. Trust me, it really does work, particularly with your Google My Business optimized and if you have those localized SEO pages. So again, just to summarize, what we did here is we created local SEO pages with the help of ChatGPT inside Google Sheets, and we optimize our Google My Business as well. If you want to go deeper into this, and if you want a lot more support into doing your own SEO with AI tools and automations, check out our 2 communities, the AI Ranking Free and AI Ranking Premium. I'll leave links to both of those below. But if you don't want to be a part of that, it's absolutely fine. Thank you very much for watching. I would appreciate it. A little subscribe if you found value in this. And if you want me to go deeper into anything else, leave it in the comments below, because this was a request from a subscriber, although I don't remember which one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers.